A day after issuing a warning, North Korea blew up roads on its side of the border with South Korea. A violent but symbolic gesture, severing a path connecting the two rivals.
Paramner, this is Patil Tutunjan coming to you from the Peace Park in South Korea. And even though it looks like I'm at an amusement park, but today's video is actually gonna be a very different vibe and very different tone to it, but I think it's a very important one to understand the history of this country more. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be actually visiting the Demilitarized zone, which is a deceiving name because it's actually one of the most fortified places on earth. And the fact that it's very foggy weather today, it adds a little bit to the mood of being intense. So the Demilitarized Zone, or the DMZ, was created in 1953 when the Korean War ended. It expands over 250 kilometers and it is 4 kilometers deep. In some areas it actually gets as narrow as 400 meters. So that's the area between North Korea and South Korea. So we're gonna learn more. I'm not gonna be able to give you every single historical detail in this short video, but I hope it entices you to look into it a little bit more. I will include some description. I will include some links in the description for some resources if you guys want to check it out more. Also, I will include the link of the tour that I'm doing because we do have a really cool guide. And when I say cool, I mean literally. His English name is Cool. So I feel like I picked the right guide. Anyway, it's cold. I will do my best to give you as much information as we're going along. And if you're wondering where this Peace Park is located, I'm gonna put a quick screenshot of my phone off the map right now so you can see how close we are to the North Korean border. And there will be more information coming up soon about why this park exists here. Because it does sound a little bit strange at first, but it does make sense, I promise, so stay tuned to find out more. There are so many people here, which is interesting. I feel like it's good for people to come and get more perspective, but it's a very popular destination for people to visit.
Yeah, but I don't know how to turn. So I'm going to move to the left.
So this bridge right behind me is called the Freedom Bridge because it was used to exchange POWs when the war ended. However, this is actually not looking towards the north. That way is the north. So this is just the original pieces of the bridge that was re-put together. Kind of, I think it started raining here with a lot of wishes for unification on the bridge. Okay, I'm gonna find my tour. So this is what the Freedom Bridge looked like. And the location of it was behind this fence. Okay, I'm a little bit out of breath because I've been running, but I did want to show you this map. So the city that we're in right now, it's called Paju. And here on the map, here on the map you can see 3 lines. So the blue line is on the South Korean side. This line is the demilitarization zone. And this side is on the North Korean side. And this is the most narrow point, which is at 400 meters only. And I believe this is at 4 kilometers. So this is kind of where we are now. We will also be going later to the suspended bridge and learn more about that. And while I catch up with the group, let me tell you a little bit more about the DMZ. So I'll try to provide as much information as possible as we're going along. So the DMZ, so the Demilitarized Zone, which, as mentioned earlier, is an interesting name to put on it because it's actually the most militarized point in the world.
The demilitarized zone is actually the most heavily militarized border in the world.
And it's the most completely misnamed piece of real estate in Korea. There was an American general here many years ago, commander-in-chief of US forces, famously used to say to the press, "There ain't nothing D about that MZ."
This point was actually the focal point for a lot of tensions between North Korea and South Korea. So communist North Korea was backed by the Soviet Union and China, and capitalist South Korea was backed by the United States and Western allies. And even though there was a ceasefire in 1953 in this area, however, there was no official peace treaty that was signed. So therefore, this area is actually still considered that it is in a war state.
Now in the demilitarized zone, a space that is just a sliver separating the North and the South, North Korea and South Korea, now in the midst of an armistice, still technically at war.
Which makes this trip that much more intense. So I did want to tell you a little bit more about the amusement park and the reason why it was built here. I'll see if we have enough time. I can maybe go back in a little bit and show you more from it. So not only is there an amusement park here, but there's also like even a stage for K-pop concerts that happen on holidays. So the purpose of this peace park is to promote peace and reconciliation between the two Koreas. Whether that's been successful or not, I cannot comment on that. However, I have seen, right now it's closed, but I have seen videos online where there's actually kids playing here and there's being that unification promotion. And because this is the northest part that South Koreans can come close, and keeping in mind that there's a lot of them that have been separated by their families who were left in the north side. So this is kind of the part where it's supposed to symbolize peace, where the two sides can come and enjoy together and have that kind of unification mindset. However, like I said, I can't comment from a political side if that has been working. In fact, I want to give you a couple of facts that happened while I was here. So on October 1st, it's a holiday in South Korea where they do military parades, and after doing the military parades, North Korea actually mocked the military capabilities of South Korea, and as well as kind of announcing some nuclear testings that's been happening.
North Korea has mocked South Korea's Armed Forces Day parade, calling it a clown show. During the parade, South Korea unveiled a non-nuclear ballistic missile, which analysts believe can penetrate North Korea's bunkers.
As well as, since I've been here many times, I've received public safety announcements public safety notifications. I've been mentioning those in my videos previously, and I want to say about 30% of those are giving us, sorry, I'm running around to try to fit in as much as possible. About 30% of those notifications have been about letting us know that North Korea has been sending garbage balloons or propaganda balloons over to Seoul, the capital of South Korea.
North Korea appears to have made good on its threat to send rubbish over the border to South Korea in retaliation for propaganda leaflets sent north on balloons. South Korea's military said that at least 200 balloons were found in 2 border provinces with plastic bags attached containing waste paper and even excrement.
And I haven't seen them personally, but apparently the balloons will fly over the city and they will drop, even sometimes including very dangerous objects. And it's also kind of like a psychological warfare. So I haven't seen any of those balloons. However, our guide mentioned that we might see some of them during this trip, because obviously this area would be the most affected by them because it is the closest. And this train, this little miniature train, is actually called Peace Train. And it has all the flags of the Allies on it. To give everything a little bit more perspective as well, it's important to keep in mind that Seoul, the current capital of South Korea, is only about 50 kilometers away from North Korean border. So it's very easy when you arrive to the capital and you're walking around, you're enjoying life and you're exploring the city and the country. It's very easy to kind of forget about everything else that's happening around and kind of like just immerse yourself and kind of like enjoy the good things, but I really think it's important to also keep in mind the big picture, the perspective, and overall what's happening in the country, which is why I thought it was a good idea to come to this tour. So I want to tell you that the lineup that you see over there is the only location in the world, wait for it, to buy North Korean currency, banknotes. It's a useless currency or banknote if you're going anywhere in the world in terms of an actual value, but apparently it makes for good souvenir, and we know that apparently this is real. Meanwhile, when you buy from other places like online, it could be fake notes, so people are now lined up to buy them. So here you can buy ribbons to put on the Peace Bridge. And the guy didn't tell us this, but I heard somewhere else, so if anybody knows, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe anything you buy from this souvenir shop goes to the UN in order to keep this buffer zone. So I'm not 100% sure if that's right or if I said it properly, but I think this goes back to the UN, which I think makes sense because there's these flags here. And of course we have these police as souvenir. So you can actually purchase tickets and ring this giant bell. It's called the Peace Bell, in the name of unification and peace. It's going over the barbed wires.
No, actually this one is called Peace Bell.
So taking a little break from the heavy topics and going a little bit into nature, we're actually on our way to go to the Kamaksan. We're climbing to the Kamaksan Bridge. Kamaksan literally translates to the Blue Rock Mountain, because this bridge takes you to the mountain, Kamaksan Mountain, which is covered in blue rock. And I'm already out of breath. This is gonna be fun, but the nature is beautiful. We're still in Paju City, so still very close from the DMZ, and do not worry, we'll get back into some heavy topics right after this. It's so beautiful here. I'm glad the fog is clearing up as we're doing this, because as you guys know, I'm terrified of heights, and this suspended bridge is long and I have to cross it twice. So I think the fog would have made it worse. Let's see if I'm going to actually be able to do it. It's apparently gonna take us 7 minutes each way. So this bunker in the middle of the forest is actually a real bunker that was used during the war. I think we're supposed to see two of those. I saw the second bunker behind us over there. Look at the nature. So apparently on this bridge 800 people can stand, and the guide assured us it's safe. I'm building up my courage as we're getting closer. So we'll see. No, this is terrifying. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start. Oh my god, look. No, you go in front of me. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Does anyone want to take a picture?
Oh, it's moving.
I usually recommend taking to the middle of the bridge.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my god. Okay. I've done zip lining. I've done zip lining. This is better. Okay, let me show you guys the view instead of my scared face. It is breathtaking.
Part that video. So I remember which one it is.
I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Don't worry. I'll catch you, Cal. Hello. That's so brave.
Oh, let's not. I shouldn't look down. Whoa. Can I ask people to stop so it doesn't move? Oh my god, it's moving so much. I'm gonna stop filming. I'll see you guys in a bit. See you on the other side. I made it. Honestly, I wasn't that embarrassing. I think I did okay. I was okay. Okay, but now we have to do it again. I want to show you something that I don't know what it is, but the view is blocked from here. So maybe, should we go there?
Oh, it's a different.
I don't know what these mean. There's no hiking? Maybe. Or maybe just to view from, like, if you hike all the way up there and then you can sit there to view. And that is the bridge that I conquered. We found a temple in the mountains and we're running because we have 50 minutes to be back at the bus, but I think this is worth it. Okay, fast forward from the suspension bridge, then we passed the checkpoint. Now we're in the DMZ. There's a lot of places that I wasn't allowed to film, so I want to be respectful of that.
It's only for your protection, so just want to make sure you guys are safe.
So we're going here onto the actual line to go into North Korea, and I actually have to walk this way. We can't shoot left, we can't shoot right, we can only shoot forward.
But right now we're at the Dora Observatory, and what we're looking in front of us is actually North Korea. So we can see North Korea from here. There is a flag. I don't know if it's gonna show up here, but that is their flag over there. I don't even know if I'm pointing at the right place. We're pretty close, and where that flag is basically a propaganda village where nobody actually lives, but they made it here right next to the border to again, like psychological warfare. Here is like a little miniature village of a map of
over there. That
what
is
we're seeing.
communication tower actually between North Korea and South Korea.
So that's where we are.
And Kim Jong-un's sister, you know.
So basically, there is that river over there, and right behind it is North Korea. So right behind this fence would actually be North Korea. And that is the Dora Observatory that we were at. Usually before now there was a third floor where you could go in and look with binoculars, but apparently that's been shut down due to some escalations or something that happened. So we were just on the second floor and we were able to see it from behind the glasses. The next place we're gonna go is actually the third tunnel. So the tunnels basically emerged in 1970s. And what are the tunnels is basically apparently during the Vietnam War, the Vietnamese soldiers made these tunnels to attack the US armies, the US soldier. So when North Korea saw this, they thought this was a nice strategy to do the same here. So they started preparing all these tunnels. And South Korea only discovered 4 of them so far, 3 of them in the 70s and 1 of them in the 90s. And they are sure that there's more. So we will be going to the third one today, and I know that there won't be filming allowed in there, but I saw some videos from official sites on the internet, so okay, I have to go on the bus because the group is waiting for me. I'll continue later. Anyway, I saw some videos online. I will show you guys, but we will be going in person into the tunnel, and then we'll be going to the Unification Village, so stay tuned.
Floated along the river, right? Because of harsh rain, just stuck under the ground.
Our painful history is buried in the DMZ and tunnels. But this is just another meaning for the hope and desire of reunification. We should learn the lesson that our painful history must not be repeated.
We made it out alive. So we were just in the tunnel, and I want to show you quickly. So this is a map of the tunnel. We came down from this, and then there's actually this train thingy too that brings you down, like for easier going down, but it's not in service right now. Also, there's way too many people, so it wouldn't even be possible. So they have an air circulation pipe. I don't know how well that works, because at one point it was like hard to breathe, but it's okay. So we walked all the way up to here, the third blockade, and from there, from the window, we were seeing the second blockade, which is actually I think this is in North Korea. So you're not allowed to go into the second and first blockade, and then this is North Korea. So some of the notable things we saw. Oh, also the whole tunnel is 435 meters. But where we walked was only 265 meters from that. And a couple of things that our guide told us to look for are the dynamite traces, where they painted them in yellow so you can see them easier. So we saw the dynamites they used to kind of make the tunnel happen. And then we also saw that they painted the ceilings with coal, so they can disguise the tunnel as a coal mine, which the guide told us that it's not possible because this is a granite tunnel. So we also saw the traces of the coal, and also how they discovered that there's a tunnel here is because one of the water reservoirs above the tunnel burst one day from the pressure of the dynamite. So one of the soldiers noticed this, and then they started looking into it. And then there's another water reservoir that kept like leaking the water. If they pour the water on the ground, it kept going down and down and down, which made them realize that below the ground is actually hollow. So they looked into it and they found this tunnel. So we also saw the water dripping. It's really interesting. I need to catch my breath a little bit. This is a very physically challenging tour. We do have one more place to go, which is the Unification Village. I'm really excited about this one. I think it will allow us to kind of wrap up everything we've learned and put it in one day. So much to reflect on, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. But I definitely need to sleep on all this information I absorbed and wake up tomorrow and having learned more. Okay, I think we have to go to the bus now, but I will see you guys at the village. So we are here at our last stop, which is the Unification Village. I do see a little signage there. Let's go check it out. So there's not necessarily much to do in the village. Like, we're not going to be going around and checking things out. It's just kind of our last stop here. But a few things before I let you guys go is, so this village is populated by about 700 Koreans, and the reason why this village was kind of established was sorry, I'm really exhausted. It's been a very long day, and I did not sleep that well. So anyway, am I allowed to come here? I think so. I mean, it looks like a garden. I just wanted to show you guys the little signage here that says Unification Village. That's cute. Okay, where were we? So this village was established in the aim to populate the area near the DMZ, near the border. So even though there's a lot of incentives from the government of South Korea for the villagers who live here, there are few rules that they actually have to live and abide by. One of them being that they have a curfew from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. They cannot leave their house. If there's an emergency, they need to leave escorted by a military helicopter. So like if it's a medical emergency or something like that. They have to work in agriculture. So that's another one of the restrictions that they have to live by. And there's no like entertainment or restaurants or anything like that. So the main agriculture things that they work with are the ginseng, the soybeans, and rice. What our guide was actually telling us is that they're very financially well. I forgot the GDP. I will check it out and put it somewhere on the screen, but I believe it was 80,000. Meanwhile, South Korea's is like 30,000. I could be wrong, but anyway, maybe I'm just throwing out numbers, but I think that's what it was. And one of the farmers here is actually one of the richest farmers in the world. He makes like over $1 million a year, and one of the souvenir shops here, not here, but near the tunnel that we were at, apparently belongs to him. But anyway, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I thought it was like very important to do it to get a full perspective and bigger picture other than just the fun things to do. It was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster between just learning the history, being in places that close to the border, very heavy militarized, as well as just my natural fears of heights and being on suspended bridges and then going in tunnels underground where it's very, very humid and crowded and sometimes hard to breathe. I'm glad I did it. That's my overall take on this. I'm glad I did it. I've learned so much. I'm gonna go home, like I said, rest a little bit, reflect on everything, and when I'm editing this video, maybe I'll revisit some of the things and learn even more, because sometimes it was a lot to take in. But again, I really recommend doing this. I will include the link in the description if you guys are interested, and hopefully you come and enjoy this beautiful land. Thank you so much for watching from in front of the Unification Village heart. I think there's no better appropriate or more appropriate place to end this video. Love you guys so much. Watching that. Bye.